Good morning, Muskie fans. I'm Hansen, and it's that time of year again where Florida's right around the corner. I'm here with head coach Mike Bachar and associate head coach Sean Repay. We're going to do a little interview today and talk about the upcoming season, Florida, and what's on the horizon for Muskie baseball. So I'll start out with you first, Coach. The last couple seasons, roller coaster seasons, but looking forward to 2018, what are you excited about, and what are you trying to get out of your team going forward?
Well, I'm really excited about the buy-in and the effort that we have this year. I would say this year is the most outside of practice effort that we've had in the last couple of years here. We've started a rebuild when Coach Repay got here 4 years ago, and we've been to that point where this is kind of the year where we're going to turn the corner, and guys are really starting to buy into that, and they're starting to do what they need to do outside of practice to make that happen. So we've seen a lot of change in our attitudes and a lot of buy-in to what we're doing here. So it's been a very good winter season for us so far, and seeing a lot of guys that in the past may not have put in as much effort as they needed to outside of practice, and they are now understanding that they have to be a outside of practice player rather than just going really hard in practice.
Sure.
So it's really good to see, and we're really excited about that.
So you guys have been practicing for about a month now, right? You said, and the nucleus of guys that you have, how big is your roster this year? I haven't even looked at the official numbers. What's it about?
We're at 42 right now. We had a couple injuries that kind of held us back. Total, we're around that mid to upper 40s in our roster right now, which is where we really like to be. I think the depth this year is starting to increase this year. We've got a lot of guys. When we first started, how many years ago, we had 18 guys to go for the season. So we're building to get that depth this year, and it's really starting to show.
So the nucleus of players that you have, winning obviously is the ultimate goal. You want to get into your conference tournament. You want to win your conference tournament to go to the World Series, obviously, but in the NCAA playoffs. But I'll put all that aside. What are you looking for in 2018 outside of winning? I guess maybe off the field or something else along those lines.
Well, winning is good. I think if we take care of the little things, there's certain numbers that we like to hit as far as having quality at bats and having numbers that we have on the pitching staff that we want to see, and we want to be competitive. And I think if we start reaching those smaller numbers and those smaller goals, we're going to see ourselves in the conference tournament this year. And that's kind of the goal. We haven't been there in quite some time, so this year, I really expect us to reach those goals in between the games, and win or not, we want to be competitive. But I think if we do those things, we will be very competitive, and we will win games. As far as off the field goes, just seeing having our guys go through the progressions that they need to go to improve their swings and improve their their mechanics in the infield and the outfield as well. So
Sure. Very, very good stuff. Coach Repay, not to leave you hanging over here, but Coach Bachar talked about the depth that you have, and I looked at the pitching staff, and at least the roster that I got, and there's a lot of guys on that.
Yes.
So talk about what the last month has been like, I guess, inside. You guys are working out in the field house. What's the last month been like, and what do you expect going forward? What's your outlook on 2018?
Very bright one. Something I'm particularly excited about in pitching out of the baseball. We have grown so much from year one. Year one we only had 2 POs and 6 pitchers total, so now it's grown over 20. We have 20 arms here, and a lot of them are POs. They're bought in. It's exciting to watch in the cage. Usually we have a huge group of warm weather pitchers from California, Florida, Arizona, you name it, all over the country in some warm states. They're not used to throwing indoors in a cage in an enclosed environment, and to see them kind of run with that and not use that as a crutch or as an excuse to whether they struggle or succeed, I think that it's been a great and fun thing to watch. We are deep, as you said. We are real deep on the pitching end of the baseball. Our starting rotation, I'm very comfortable with at this point, and I really do feel we have probably one of the most underrated back ends of the bullpen that you will see in our conference. We are very deep on that end and very old on that end of the baseball, which is something we haven't been able to see, say in the past. So
when you look for, Florida's, we leave Friday morning early. Our first game is on Saturday there once we get all down and settled up. What do you expect out of your guys for this first week? I mean, you talked about the experience being old, but what are you looking for, I guess, in Florida, aside from the winning games and going out and showing the last month of practice, I guess, is going to come to fruition? What do you expect?
Compete.
Sure.
And that's something that, last year we got off the plane and we competed.
Absolutely, that was a lot of fun.
It was, I can't tell you the last time I've seen a pitching staff compete at that high of a level. Through about first 16 games of the season, we were one of the best pitching staffs in this conference, and then some things happened and things started to unravel, and that's something that's going to happen with the youth. I think that battling with that failure, and I think they've overcome that now to where they understand, failure, success. We got to stay level-headed, all the way through, and the biggest thing is responding. I think that our guys know how to respond in a positive light now, instead of, kind of just, hanging our heads and letting things get worse. Our guys know how to respond and bring that into a positive. So I'm looking forward to the Florida trip.
Very good. Coach, I'm excited to go down again.
That's awesome.
Thank you guys very, very much. Muskie Baseball will be on Twitter all week. I'll be down there doing the live stats as well, so we're going to try and get the live stats to go. But we look forward to the rest of the season coming forward, and much more to come from Coach Bachar and Coach Repay.